Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. आत्म उपलब्धि ही मुक्ति की उपाय है. Self realization is the only means to get liberation. So I will start chanting. (218) घटोदके बिम्बितम् अर्कबिम्बम् आलोक्य मूढ़ो रविमेव मन्यते तथा चिदाभासमुपाधिसंस्थम् भ्रान्त्याहमित्येव जडोऽभिमन्यते घटोदके बिम्बितमर्कबिम्बम् आलोक्य मूढ़ो रविमेव मन्यते तथा चिदाभासम् उपाधिसंस्थम् भ्रान्त्याहमित्येव जडोऽभिमन्यते. I will tell you the word for word meaning. That moodhaha, the deluded person, that ignorant person, ghatodake, the water inside the water pot, arkam evam, like the sun, bimbitam, it is reflected, alokya, after having seen, rabim eva manyate, think this is the sun alone. In the pot full of water, and the sun is getting reflected, but the moodha vyakti, dull, foolish fellow, he thinks this is the sun. Tatha, likewise, jadaha means the one who is like inert intellect, where there is no discrimination. What does he do? Bhrantya, by the influence of his own delusion. Upadhi samstham, the intellect, the buddhi, reflected into the upadhi, the conditioning, chidabhasam, the reflection of pure consciousness, aham eva iti manyate, that is I, who think in that way. Clear? What Gurudev has told, we will see it. Anyone who cries out, the sun has fallen into a bucket of water in the balcony, is needed a fool. Those who consider themselves fallen into the perceiver, feeler, thinker are equally foolish. In both cases, it It is only the reflection. The sun is reflected in the water, and consciousness plays upon the thoughts in the mind. The reflection of reality upon the thoughts is called Chidabhasa. It is the consciousness playing upon the thoughts and dancing to their rhythm, just as the reflected sun in the bucket dances when the waters are disturbed. I say I am agitated, I am bad, I am good. What is this I? It is the Chidabhasa, the Abhasa, the glimpse of Chid, the consciousness, the reflection of consciousness, the reflected consciousness. This is the perceiver, feeler, and thinker. Our Gurudev used to tell it very nicely, though it sounds a joking sound, humorous sound, but how deep it is. He used to say, perceiver, feeler, thinker. So that it's a very joking sound. But if you can think that this is the sound of Medoc, if you can remember our rainy season, nowadays we can't see the frog. But in my childhood also I have seen. Or if you go in some village place, you will get in the evening constant trr, 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 the sound of metal. Constant. So our perceiver, feeler, thinker always doing that sound. I. Clear? Actually, this is three things composed one mind. So, the consciousness functioning through my body, mind, and intellect. Clear? Once you understand that sun is in the heaven, and then let the sun in the bucket be broken into 1,000 pieces, you are not worried about the future existence of the sun. Only an insentient fool who considers the reflected sun to be the real one will worry about its safety when he actually sees the sun in the bucket shattered into 1,000 pieces. I was looking into a lake and admiring my charming form when suddenly my reflection broke into pieces. Will I be foolish enough to weep and die, saying I am broken? I understand that it is my reflection only. If I have not forgotten myself, I can watch the reflection and enjoy whenever the waters are rippled by the breeze. And my reflection consequently gets corrugated I shall laugh at the ugliness of my reflection and still remain unaffected. But if a fool has forgotten himself and has identified himself with his own reflection, he will suffer when he directly perceives himself to be squeezed out of shape in the restless waters by some cruel breeze created by an unmerciful and blind God. If you can remember our old days, see, where is the conflict between the knowledge and education? In earlier days, a lot of panditas, Brahmin, mainly in the southern part of India, mainly Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and in Bengal also. If the lower caste people step into the shadow of the higher class Brahmin, they used to go for atonement, prayaschitta. Do you know that? It was so horrible. Yet they knew all the Shastras, Vedanta, everything else. Yet there was so much discrimination. So, मूढ़ व्यक्ति समझते नहीं कि बुद्धि में प्रतिफलित जो चैतन्य वो मैं नहीं. वो लोग समझते नहीं कि बुद्धि में प्रतिफलित चैतन्य उपाधि के सिवा और कुछ नहीं. लेकिन बुद्धि के द्वारा ही थोड़ा सा कोशिश करने से ही हम अपना जो रियल चैतन्य कॉन्शियसनेस हम लोग उपलब्धि कर सकते हैं. आत्मा की जो इटर्नल ज्योति है, असीम ज्योति जो है, वो हमारा बुद्धि में प्रतिफलित होकर लिमिटेड जीव के रूप में प्रकाशित होता है. और तभी जीव देह और मन के साथ एकात्म होकर मैं करता है. क्लियर ना? दिस इज वेरी क्लियर. दिस इज द फंडामेंटल ऑफ द वेदांत. प्लीज ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. The eternal rays of the supreme consciousness gets reflected in the intellect and get expressed as the limited jiva, and that jiva get connected with the association of body and mind and start saying I. How is it? As the vast sun got reflected into the glass of water and becomes small. And if we consider that the sun is only this much, it is very ridiculous. Now, if the sun thinks that my reflection is I only, how ridiculous it will be. Likewise, for the human being also, the same thing. It is also the same thing when It happens for us. How it happens? Because of our own delusion. You know, Plato has given some beautiful allegory. Here, some prisoners were there. In the prison, they were shackled, their hands and legs, and they used to stand facing the wall. Clear? Where they can't see anything else rather than the wall. Now, the light is on the back side, so some shadows are there on the wall, and they are thinking that shadows are real human being only. Now, when they got freed, when they came out from the prison and faced the real light, then they understood, because of that light, there was shadow on the wall of the prison. Likewise, whenever we will get rid of our own delusion and the oneness we feel with the reflected consciousness, that will be shattered, that will be demolished, then only we will be established in real consciousness. In next four slokas, that has been explained. I will take one by one or four together, I don't know. Let me check. 290. Ghatam jalam tadgatamarkam bimbam vihaya sarvam vinirikshyate arka. Just a minute, let me see from our CCMT books. That will be better. Ghatam jalam tadgatamarkabimbam vihaya sarvam vinirikshyatirkaha tatastha etas tatastha etat tritayavabhasakaha swayam prakashaha vidusa yatha tatha. It is example. The intellect, the intelligent man leaves aside the jar, the water, and the reflection of the sun in it, and says the self-luminous sun. Likewise, the wise realize the self-luminous reality which illumines these three and recognize it as independent of them all. I will say word for word meaning. What it is? Yatha, as though, vidusha. Vidusha means vicharshil vyakti, who is having the faculty of discrimination. Ghatam, the pot. Jalam, the water. Tadgatam, arkabimbam. Inside the pot, the reflected sun, sarvam vihaya, leaving everything else, etat tritaya avabhashaka. The prakashak of three, tatastha, means where there is no connection of conditioning or upadhi. Swayam prakasha means self-effulgent. Arkaha, Surya, the sun. Binirikshyate, it is get seen likewise. So, what the three? The three is the pot, the water inside the pot, and the reflected sun into the water. Not a single thing out of three is not sun. The person who understand among them not a single thing is sun, and he is vidusha, is vicharshila, and understand that the real sun is the prakashaka of the three, and the sun has no conditioning. It is effulgent, and सूर्य को दर्शन करते हैं. And more two I will read. Before that, I want to see 219 also. I just want to see. When we perceive the reflected sun in a jar of water, these are three things: the jar, the water in the jar, and the reflection of the sun in it. So, as long as our attention is on the reflection, the real sun is not perceivable. In order to see the sun, we will have to lift our eyes high up from the jar, the water, and the reflection. In the sun, there is no jar, there is no water, there is no reflection. So these three are symbolical examples to help us understand the play of the Atma. This is called Tatastha Lakshana. You know the sun to be without the jar, without the water, without the reflection. If you are told the house on which the cow is sitting is Sri Gopala's residence, then every time you pass by, you don't look for the cow, do you? Once you know the house, the cow becomes dispensable. That is called Tatastha Lakshana and Swarupa Lakshana. You know, in 2012, from Ramakrishna Mission, we went for pilgrimage. Our principal Swamiji of our training center was Swami Jushtanand. It's very, very knowledgeable, very funny and childish. So once we were searching in Navadvip on house of the Parshada of Sri Chaitanya. He told, hey, look, 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 we have come completely in a wrong way. So we asked, how come? Now, when I came 20 years back, there one bull was sitting in front of the house and we took the left turn. This time also I saw the bull and I took left turn. Oh my God, half an hour we have come in a wrong way. Again we went back. Whole 125 Swamis and Brahmacharis, we took the opposite turn because we made mistake. And in the road, he started teaching us Vedanta. See, that is the Tatastha Lakshana and it gets changed because the cow 20 years back is not the same cow. It gets changed. So Swarupa never gets changed. Only the Tatastha gets changed. Clear? So this is the in life, from life you can learn a lot of things. Uh, so the thing is, Tapovan Maharaj used to say that 218 and 219 helped him a lot in his sadhana. The first instance to distinguish Gopal's house from the array of all other houses, this method is called Tatastha Lakshana. The cow is no part of the house, but it helps us to distinguish a particular house. So the cow is Tatastha. Once you know the sun, you will understand that it is the illuminator of the jar. It is the illuminator of the water. It is the illuminator of the reflection. Nobody need illumine sun. It is self-effulgent. It is its own light. In the light of the sun, all other things are illuminated. Similarly, the wise man realizes the self. Apply the analogy subjectively to your own life and contemplate. Jar, the body, water, which is having the ripples, means it's our thoughts. Constant thoughts are coming. And the reflected sun is nothing but our ego. The sun in the heaven or sky, the supreme reality which illumines all these. So my body, mind and intellect, my ego, they are all tatastha. One point, very good point, Kim. Through tatastha lakshana, the swarupa is indicated. So use your body, mind and intellect as tatastha to reach to the swarupa. Clear? Deham dhiyam chit pratibimbamevam visrijya buddhau nihitam guhayam. द्रष्टारमात्मानमखण्डबोधम् सर्वप्रकाशं सदसद्विलक्षणम् नित्यं विभुं सर्वगतं सुसूक्ष्मम् अन्तर्बहिःशून्यमनन्यमात्मनः विज्ञाय सम्यं निजरूपमेतत् पुमान् विपाप्मा विरजो विमृत्युः विशोकवानन्दघनो विपश्चित् स्वयं कुतश्चिन्न बिभेति कश्चित् नान्योऽस्ति पन्था भवबन्धमुक्तेः विना स्वतत्त्वागमनं मुमुक्षोः. Beautiful. You can understand by listening to the sloka itself. Kutaschinna vivheti kaschit. This is Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji has taken from Taittiriya Upanishad. So that we will see in our next class.